Big Boar Barbecue presents Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV with Dan the Voice Dyker, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Riker. Brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem. Big Boar Barbecue, now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist, serving the La Crosse area since 1929. Carey Heating and Air Conditioning.
Hi folks, welcome in. Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV, along with Billy Doc Niles, the Penguin Paul Reichert, I am the voice, radio man Dan Dyker. If you're watching this on Thursday or Friday or Saturday, practice day at the La Crosse Speedway and the banquet, it's finally here.
Yes, I'm so ready for this season to begin. I was actually ready when the 2021 began.
And if you want to attend, the banquet on Saturday, free to the public. Come on in, have some food, have some drink, mingle with your favorite drivers, and watch them accept their awards for their achievements in the 2020 season.
Practice 10 to 3. The awards are going to be at 4 because the banquet's going to be 3 to 7. And if you're watching this on Sunday, well, hey, we hope you had a great time at the banquet last night.
Oh, yeah. I'm so hungover.
Oh, I'm so full. But yeah, we're really getting excited to kickstart the regular season at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Do want to mention Big Boar Barbecue. They also kicked off last Wednesday their annual car cruises and car shows.
Car shows.
Hopefully we tape the program there again.
I'm hoping to.
Yeah, you're just looking for the food.
That's why he was like a bobblehead.
Speaking of food, they got a heck of a deal next weekend.
Yeah, well, actually, that's Mother's Day. 10% off that big family platter, the pictures you always see us doing where you almost got our fingers here a couple years ago.
We almost got penguinized.
Dine in. They've got seating outside. If you want to have a big order carry-out, call Big Boar Barbecue, and during the gang, we'll set you up because I'm going to be doing that myself. Well, it's Mother's Day, but I want barbecue, and if I can get 10% off, well, the wife can have a box of macaroni and cheese. Eat barbecue. Also want to remind you, coming up on the 23rd of May, it is the Dick Trickle Memorial Celebration, and it's going to be jam-packed with tons of people, drivers, you name it, everybody in racing is going to be there. I've been asked to MC the event, which I'm going to hold that near and dear to my heart. We'll also be up there with the radio and the TV show. Talking about being on the road, Paul was at Madison International Speedway last weekend. How about we let people watch close up of the last 8 laps of that one?
Oh, yes. This was a thrilling race, a lot of action. You thought somebody was going to break out and claim the victory, but no, it didn't happen. Dan Ferguson had a little oil line problem just about halfway through, but then it got a little really interesting, and Rich Bickle in that Black Joe Shear car takes the lead with 50 laps to go, and that sets up this 8-lap shootout here with Luke Fenhouse, the icebreaker winner, and Luke was trying to do everything he could to get by Rich, but Rich stood his ground, stood his line, and man, pull off, I think, one of the best Joe Shear Classic finishes we've ever seen.
Well, let's show you that video right now. You might even hear the hammer Eric Heinefeld in the background. else, as you saw in the video, I didn't see this as I was watching some replays during the week. There was a lot of contact between those two.
You know, there's, especially in the middle of turns 1 and 2 there was some hard contact, which, you know, if I'd have been in the car, I'd have thought, what the heck, you know, and, but, you know, Bickle, the master that he is, he's been around Madison a heck of a lot longer than Fenhouse has, and did a great job working the outside groove to wrest that lead back with 5 laps to go and claim the victory.
The race was on Pit Road TV. There, Tony Stevens had Rich Bickle in the winner's circle at the conclusion of that one.
There are stories about race car drivers that find the 5th gear, the 6th gear, something inside themselves they never thought they had. Where did yours come from today?
I know we had nothing but problems all day and yesterday, and this car was so bad qualifying everything that we kept throwing stuff at it. And man, you know, it's been a long time since I won a race, and we've had some super fast cars, and just can't seem to get the job done. But gotta congrats that Ford kid. He reminds me a lot of me back when I was a punk. Some teams are short game. I think Joe's looking down. Their Pete Sykes, the record driver guy, my dad, first time he's been in the race in probably 12 years. Pretty special moment. 1985, Joe Shear was on button for this race for 90 laps, just like the Ford kid was. And if I made a mistake, I would have lost. And nobody beat him back then. But he made me the driver up today, and him with Tom Ruffner, Trickle, and Watson, and Ziegler, and everybody, you know. And I'll be 60 next week, and this is a hell of a way to celebrate.
Most likely your final season, but after a day like today, do you think twice about that? Can we possibly see you at least part-time after 2021?
Well, like left today, I said the only way I would stay racing if I win the lottery, I'm going to get a multi-million-dollar sponsor because I'm sick of spending my money to do this. And I got other things I want to do in life, but for having my dad here, Pete looking down, and Joe looking down is pretty cool. And my mom, my God, I was a month old on her, sitting right up there, like halfway turn down turn 1. And that's all I'm going to come to this racetrack. And remember as a kid watching down that hill, watching Trickle pull in with his car running around his hauler and go and set fast time with 5 minutes left. And so much history and so much fun, and I hope you people enjoyed that one.
Is this a new level for expect to see you drive like this to have good point to prove for the rest of the Midwest Tour season?
I got nothing to prove, man. I won 500 races against the best. 1985, there was a picture here of the airport race, and I started counting the other day. There were over 6,000 feature wins in that photo. Think of that, 6,000. That'll never be seen ever in racing again. And just to think, I had to race against some guys, and to win 500 against them was pretty special. So, but this is for you people. I rode my balls off.
I want to thank Brandon Ashenbrenner, the announcer up at Wausau State Park Speedway, for supplying us with that video as he was down there. And Kevin was trying to get down, Kevin Ramsel. Paul was trying to get on the other side, so we really appreciate that. Coming up here for the rest of the year, it's going to be Lacrosse Speedway and Thomas Sparta Speedway highlights. Going to talk about that next on KQEG TV.
Would you like a job making people happy? Well, I believe we can help you out. Big Boar Barbecue and Catering has openings for both full and part-time work. Days, nights, or weekends. Need to be free on weekends or need to be done by the time the kids get out of school? We can work with that. We need hard-working, energetic people who love to make people happy because our food makes everybody happy. Join the team at Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16, West Salem. Now that's a mouthful.
Big Boar Barbecue.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that really actually matter. Like figuring out which remote turns the TV on, or the smell in the vegetable crisper that in no way can be vegetables, or finding your phone when you leave it on vibrate. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Welcome back, race fans. Seven Wheels Racing, KQEG TV, along with Billy Doc Niles, Paul the Penguin Reichert, who's back there under a table.
We've banished him for a segment.
I'm Radio Man Dan Dyker. Program brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue. Remember Mother's Day at Big Boar Barbecue. There's some good eating right there. Also, their classic car shows have started. Check them out on Facebook. They've got all the dates on there from now to October. Fansarena.com, Epic Media, and Vinyl and Carry Heating and Air Conditioning. Got a full studio again. Lacrosse Speedway practice finally here. I'm tired of seeing one driver here, one driver. We all got them out there this weekend. And 2 of these 3 are going to be practicing this weekend. One of them has already got a race in. How we doing, Barneys?
Good.
Good.
Andy's going to be in a Hornet this year. Keanna's going to be in a Hornet this year. Jaden Schock, who couldn't be here because she was working this week, is also going to be in a Hornet this year. Paityn's like the odd girl out, but to me, I think she's got the cool setup this year.
She's already got a race under her belt.
On dirt. Tell us about that.
Well, I got 4th in my first heat, 6th in the second, and then 4th in the feature.
How big of an adjustment was it to go from racing those go-karts on asphalt to racing it on dirt?
It was a pretty big difference, but not that much at the same time, yes.
Now, when you raced asphalt, it felt kind of secure going through the corners. You don't have that grip level anymore, so you kind of got to get used to that sliding around now, don't you?
Yeah. But my dad fixed somewhat of my go-kart. So.
Attaboy, Dad.
Dad's doing all he got 4 or 5 Hornets, go-kart. When was the last time you parked your POV in your garage?
Probably before we started racing. I get yelled at by my wife a lot about it.
Keanna, another year going to be under your belt here. And as we talked on the radio show, I really got to watching you last year. You and Jaden should have had a couple of wins, too. But she can't talk about that here today. We'll get her on Facebook. I want to say it was about race 4. I can really watch the rookie drivers and the young drivers on how well they're really picking things up by how they come out of turn 4. And last year, it just dawned on me a couple of times, man, you're really starting to get a bunch of speed. Okay, now she's going to go 2 wide, almost 3 wide. Was that when you think last year you really thought, hey, I'm going to be able to do this?
Yeah, I just went out there feeling really confident and just ready to race.
I like the color of your car, too. That was it turquoise? Is that what the kids are calling it?
Is it teal or turquoise?
I don't know. I just said
it was teal.
Teal and black. I just thought because nobody else had that color.
The only reason I know teal is that's what my wife had to have for her colors in our wedding 31 years ago.
Oh, he's got to wipe some of that off now because that was pretty slick.
Hi, honey.
Andy, you went from dad to crew chief to tech official back to a full-time driver. When did that decision come about?
Well, it came about when Jaden told me last year that her and her boyfriend were going to move to Boston. And then I'm like, well, I got a car just sitting here. Somebody's going to drive it. So I thought I'd give it a shot, and hopefully I can do as good as she did at it.
Now, you've got vinyl just put on by Drew and Epic, I want to say just about a week ago, and practice coming up this week in lacrosse. You guys all set to lay the rubber down again?
I hope so. 2 out of 3 anyway.
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
3 out of 3 will be there.
3 out of 3 will be there.
Soon enough. So, Keanna, everyone's going, okay, Keanna is going to race against her dad. There's always that one big question, and we'll ask Andy first because we asked him on the radio show. If need be, are you going to put a bumper to the daughter to get by her to win a race?
Absolutely.
I love that.
He broke it down a lot more than that on the radio show. Come on, I want that long-winded excuse.
Oh, there's no excuse. Once, your family at home, once you hit the racetrack, the gloves go on, the helmet goes on, and all bets are off.
Keanna, from your point of view, what happens if it's you and Dad?
Well, I like that he pushes me, but he's got to fix the car, so.
Pushing's one thing. I ain't going to wreck her.
No kidding. You have an advantage now, though, because who have you learned to race from? Your dad. You've learned how to race lines, race against other people, how to come out of corners. So it's not like, people at home are going, oh, man, he's just going to be lapping his daughter left and right. It's not going to be like that because you had to learn from somebody.
Yeah.
So, Paityn, what input do you give them on Saturday nights?
I just go there and watch from the States.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that. So you've already got your first race under your belt. how was the experience? So talk about what it was like racing on dirt for the first time.
It was kind of stressful because, well, I've never raced on dirt before, so I don't know how it's like. And I was kind of nervous racing by other people because I've only practiced twice, and I wasn't by anybody because you're not supposed to be by anybody during practice.
So you did anybody come out and give you some advice? This is what you need to do. Here's where you need to be, or?
Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
Well, there's so many of them up there now on Friday nights at MTS and Saturdays that are running dirt, especially the go-karts. I mean, there's going to be a lot of names that's going to take her a while to get adjusted to. But I tell you what, all the years I announced up there, they will help you. They don't care who you, just like the family right here. Whoever you pit next to up there, they're going to be just like a family to you.
All right, so we only got about a minute and a half left. I know the whole family has got the same group of advertising partners this year. Keanna, tell us who you got.
I want to know, can you, she did this on the radio show. Can you do this in one breath?
Maybe. Paul Bunyan's Tree Service, Lodestar Transportation Services, BNC Trucking, Lediger Roofing, First American Roofing and Siding, Epic Media, Max Woodworks, Patriotic Handyman Services, Termite Auto Repair, Shock Photography, Hijackers Customs, Advantage Agri Service, Kay and Jerry Hansen, and Dan Bagwan.
I heard one breath.
And yeah, that wasn't bad because she took a breath and still got the last four in. That is outstanding.
You had to be right here to hear it.
You guys have a ton of support behind you. I always like the families that come race, man, and especially when you get an opportunity like this to race. And I don't say against your daughter because that's negative. I don't like putting negative spins. You're racing with your daughters, and hopefully here in a couple of years we're going to have four of them out there at the same time.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. Yeah,
that is outstanding. Good friend of the program. They've been on, I think, 3 years in a row now. We're going to more than want to race. We're going to keep getting them back on here. That is Paityn, the dirt driver. Keanna, Jaden Schock again couldn't join us because she is at the GLB, and Andy Barney. Appreciate you coming back on, man.
Thanks.
Really do. All right, they're going to rock and roll here at La Crosse in 2 weeks, May 15th, 2 o'clock. We're going to have everybody out there, including the Hornets. So when we come back, we're going to close out the program, get you ready for the first practice at La Crosse Speedway next on KQEG TV.
Would you like a job making people happy? Well, I believe we can help you out. Big Boar Barbecue and Catering has openings for both full and part-time work. Days, nights, or weekends. Need to be free on weekends or need to be done by the time the kids get out of school? We can work with that. We need hard-working, energetic people who love to make people happy because our food makes everybody happy. Join the team at Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16, West Salem. Now that's a mouthful.
Big Boar Barbecue.
American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is built to a higher standard, so you can focus on the problems in your life that really actually matter. Like figuring out which remote turns the TV on, or the smell in the vegetable crisper that in no way can be vegetables, or finding your phone when you leave it on vibrate. Whatever you're worrying about, it won't be this. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, built to a higher standard.
Welcome back, race fans. Seven Rivers Racing, brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue, where they've got their classic cruise and car show nights now every first and third Wednesday from 5 until 8 p.m. at Big Boar Barbecue there in West Salem. We were at several of those a couple of years ago and hope to get back out there again because there are some beautiful, beautiful rides. Jerry's truck.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry's truck
that was cool,
there as well. I want to thank Gary Heating and Air Conditioning, fansarena.com, Epic Media, and Vital, and Back 40 Wraps. Well, guys, we are finally getting ready for practice day at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. One of the things I look forward to the most about this day is, all right, I'm like the big secret keeper. People are telling me, hey, this is what I'm driving this year. This is what my paint scheme looks like. These are my new sponsors. But there's always a ton of them that never say a word to me until it's race, until it's practice day.
Yeah.
That's the big thing I look forward to on La Crosse practice day. And Thomas, which we had to miss, is who's driving what in what division?
Number one, who's driving what in what division? Number two, what surprises are going to show up each year? Like every year, somebody new shows up in the late model division and challenges the king. We've had Nick Paninsky for how many years now? He's gone to the wayside. Last year it was Nick Murgic and Billy Moan, and Jacob Gady probably could have had a track championship.
Rumor has that Paninsky's coming back full time this year. He's got a brand new late model ride.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I heard that about 2 or 3 months ago from his wife, and it looks like he may be coming back for this full season.
So you mix in Paninsky with Murgic and Carlson, and Billy Moan running every week now. Nick Clements was really on his game at the end of the season last year.
Bachman's going to get some wins this year. There's no reason he can't.
This late model class is probably one of the most stacked we've had in quite a long time.
Did you see, and I should have brought it up on my tablet, did you see what Ken Donay's wrap job looks like that Paul Brown?
Yes, I just saw that the other night. That's amazing.
Wow, so he had the red, the red 25 with the black checkers and tilde. Now it's green. Now, you drove. Why aren't you supposed to have a green car?
Green cars are supposed to be bad luck unless you ask Dan Steele.
Yeah.
Okay, well, his was out there.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Who has his car? Boy, I know it's still lacrosse.
Didn't Donay have it?
No, he got his car from Partington last year.
Okay. Partington had it.
Yeah.
It's Susie. He got Susie.
Did you see Susie? No, it's not Susie anymore. It's boy, I'm going to start. I got to get my notes going out of my head here. It's not Susie anymore.
It's not.
The new female name he had last year.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see Partington's wrap?
I have.
Yes.
I have.
Wow.
That looks good.
Another amazing one.
Everyone knows it is yellow, and then he had some red in there. You throw that blue streak down the side, and it adds a whole bunch to that race car.
Absolutely.
Another big question looking forward to answering here in the next week or two is the sportsman class now. They've lowered the time to I think it's 21.7, 21.6. I'll have to look in the rule book, but they've lowered the time now, and we're not going to see the 5-car back anymore because Madison is open now.
Yep, Edwards is going
to be running there.
Champ.
And who's all going to be showing up? I know for sure Sam Niles is going to be there.
Mark Chalet is supposedly running the Dells the entire year this year.
So who's going to be there? To challenge Sam Niles, who's going to be there to challenge Hesselberg?
Well, I know that
Litzheim.
Jack Litzheim is back, and he went from his old sportsman body. Excuse me, he hung a dirt late model body on it. Now he may be going back to that original scheme. I watched him go back and forth a couple of times, but if you look at how they finished last year, now Sam Niles had some serious problems. Sam came out, won the first night, then just kind of went down.
No, actually had problems the first night. He didn't win until mid-season.
Just went straight downhill. And then, of course, it was Edwards and Litzheim. This year, that's going to be a good battle with those two.
And did I see Bill Schott with a modified body on his?
Schott now has, he owns a modified and a sportsman and a hobby stock.
Oh, my.
He's got all 3 of them. So I asked him what he was going to do this year. Kind of undecided now. He wants to run the modified. He can run it every Friday night at Toma, which I think he'll do. Sportsman-wise, got the championship at Toma last year. Does he run that at lacrosse, try to get another championship? Going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
And then you move to the hobby stock class, and hopefully, and I'm hoping the same thing with the sportsman, the hobby stock class, the numbers come up on both these classes. Brandon Gallagher, made it known right away last year from the drop of the green flag. Won the first checkered flag he was forced to deal with.
He's got a brand new car.
He ended up winning the championship.
Well, he said he's going to be running a clear coat white car this year.
Right. Yeah, that'll last a total of one race. Yeah. So are we going to see a more race every week this year? Who's going to step up and challenge Gallagher this year?
Going to be interesting to see. Also, those new names, what Hornet drivers are going to run hobby stocks. How about that 6-cylinder class? Does it go over 30 cars again this year? I would think so, both at Toma and lacrosse. So, next week, we're going to be down to the pits. We're going to have some good interviews for you, and we're going to find out who's who amongst drivers at the Lacrosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Have fun at the banquet and the awards. We're going to be down there, and we're going to be right back here next weekend on KQEG TV.
You've been watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV with Dan the Voice Diker, Billy Doc Niles, and Paul the Statman Riker. Brought to you by Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem. Big Boar Barbecue. Now that's a mouthful. By Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialist. serving the La Crosse area since 1929. Carry heating and air conditioning. Thanks for watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.
Would you like a job making people happy? Well, I believe we can help you out. Big Boar Barbecue and Catering has openings for both full and part-time work. Days, nights, or weekends. Need to be free on weekends or need to be done by the time the kids get out of school? We can work with that. We need hard-working, energetic people who love to make people happy because our food makes everybody happy. Join the team at Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16, West Salem. Now that's a mouthful.
Big Boar Barbecue.